ladies, and welcome to this week's Sounds Like Texas. This week we're in New Braunfels, Texas. Great German community, and it's all about Wurstfest. It is the 10-day festival to the sausage. You'd think it'd be the beer, but oh no, it's the sausage. Right now we're in the downtown rotunda, and the neat thing about this is this bandstand that we're in right now was built in 1905, and it's still in use today. They have an incredible memorial to Civil War and World War I fallen heroes, but that's not all. Wurstfest is just down the road, but before we go to Wurstfest, there's an art festival around the corner. There's everything going on in the incredible town of New Braunfels. So join us this week for Sounds Like Texas.
Hey, it sounds like Texas. It makes you feel alive. To the fair we go. Come join the fun tonight. Howdy and welcome to Sounds Like Texas. Fairs, festivals, small towns, and sounds of the South. Each week we invite you to join us on a new venture as we roll across Texas. So sit back, kick your boots off, and let's go to the fair.
Here we are, Land Apart, home of Wurstfest. We're finally here. We have made it. The big 10-day sausage fest. And beer. Don't forget beer. So if you're wondering where New Braunfels is, it's halfway, well not quite halfway, between Austin and San Antonio on I-35. It's closer to San Antonio. But enough with that. We are wasting time. Good quality beer drinking, sausage eating time. Let's get inside. You can count on Wurstfest always being the last weekend of October and the first weekend of November. It's a 10-day festival to the almighty sausage. There's tons of shopping, all kinds of family fun. Check out this festival and food, food, food. Of course, don't forget the music. The Cloverleaf Orchestra is a great one to catch. We just finished listening to his incredible music, the leader of the Cloverleaf Orchestra, if you will. Gordon, so you're from here?
Yes, I was born and raised here in New Braunfels.
But how did you get into doing a band? I mean, obviously polka music is all over this town, but how did you start your own band?
Well, I started playing trumpet in the 4th grade in Lamar School, and then in high school I played bass horn, and when we were sophomores in high school, we started the High Toppers, and I played with them until Uncle Sam took me out in '53, and I came back in '55, and then I just bummed around for a couple of years. In '57, I started playing with the Cloverleaf, and in 1960, I started managing. So we had it since then. Wurstfest has been a great thing through the years, and the Cloverleaf Orchestra has played every one since 1961. We're the only group that can claim that, as much I've been told. So that's a unique thing to us.
That's a very exciting thing.
And we're basically, we're not a show band, we're a dance band.
Very much.
That's what we go for.
Very much.
We've always had a good time here and played for some big crowds. And I don't remember what year it was, but way back then, about the 70s, one year we played 42 hours in the 10 days.
Oh my God.
And this year we're playing 18 and 3/4 hours. So.
That's amazing. master play book. It's thicker than I am wide. It is massive.
Well, Cloverleaf was organized in 1952, and I started in 57, and right now, nobody that was original plays with the group. But that's how we've accumulated the music through the years and just keep piling it on. And of course, we have a bunch in there that we don't play, but every once in a while we get a request for a certain number, then we have to really dig in there, sit down and read it and study it and try to make it go.
For a little extra history on Wurstfest, we talked to ex-president Herb Scoot.
This is the one, the only original copyrighted named Wurstfest Sausage Festival.
The only one.
That's right. We do have some beer here, but the sausage is king. The Wursthalle was a cottonseed warehouse, and when it was built in about 1905, it was at that time the largest concrete man-made structure in the world. It's about 80-some feet wide and 400 and some feet long, and was a cottonseed warehouse, and came later a city storage building, and then when Wurstfest moved out here, we turned it into our Wursthalle.
Part of the beauty of New Braunfels is the river. Everybody knows that you go to New Braunfels or to San Marcos to float the river. So, in between bands and beers, I'm going to sit here and enjoy a little bit of this Comal River. And it feels really good to put your feet in, too. Welcome back to Sounds Like Texas. I'm here with Jeff Albrecht, President-elect for Wurstfest. But you're not going to tell us about the organization. You're going to tell us about the Sposs House, which is kind of new.
Yes, it is. We've have been working on it for a number of years, but we finally got finished this just this year. It's totally complete now.
Totally complete with thousands of bottles of beer.
That's right. Wurstfest back in 1982, as a matter of fact, bought from the Nowotny estate the beer bottle collection that he had been working on since, I think, 1936 or so. But we bought 15,000 beer bottles, all shapes, sizes, colors, you just can't imagine it. It's a lot of fun. We were finally now able to get at least a small portion of that collection up on display.
So how many do you officially have here in the Sposs House, do you know?
Right now we have 2,575 bottles on display, and we may be able to add more as time goes by and build more of these, cases to get them protected and that sort of thing.
Absolutely, protection is the key. Is that why it's so dark in here?
Well, that's atmosphere.
That's atmosphere. Right. Absolutely. So, did Mr. Nowotny actually drink every single one of these beers? 15,000 beers.
Those who knew Mr. Nowotny might have suspected that, but I think he just collected the bottles and labels and everything, throughout his career. It was a hobby of his. And then he did have them on display at his place that was down there actually close to where, Schlitterbahn is now. And like I say, we bought that some time ago, but we haven't had a chance to display them until now.
So where are the other approximately 12,500 bottles?
In boxes and boxes and boxes.
Hiding.
That's right.
Hiding away. Has anybody bothered to find out how much this collection is worth? I bet it's just incredible.
Well, I guess we can.
Museum quality.
There you go. We consider it priceless.
Absolutely. The sounds of the amazing Carrie Christensen. We'll be back to enjoy more of this world champion yodeler in just a minute. Welcome back to Sounds Like Texas. I'm here with Carrie Christensen, master yodeler, and he is so good and so well known that on the way to find you, somebody told me that they felt you were the best act here. How do you feel about that?
Well, of course, you're always flattered, but everything's susceptible to somebody's opinion of things, of course.
Oh, listen to you, Mr. Humble. So
10 CDs, and so I make one about every 2 years or so.
Explain how you got into yodeling.
Well, I lived in Austria for a couple of years out of high school and just fell in love with that folk music, and then I went back to my dad's cattle ranch and the potato farm and went around a field 16 hours a day on a tractor. And one day my dad came home and said, I sold the farm, guys, you guys go get a real job. And so this is what I ended up doing.
He was taking good to calling them all. And I guess I was really stupid, 'cause I just shouted out on the call. I said, hey, baby, what's your sign? Do you have a need to make call? Well, I never seen anyone so fine that I should want that. Roll once, roll twice, I'll roll twice. You know, like this, on my heart, but don't count this. We're in this one, we're blind. I'm not with my heart, no. Well, if I walk up too long, then I'll run away. He's going around, away. That's one day I said, hey, baby, what's your sign? You baby, ain't my mind. You've been and being your baby car.
Listening to your music, what is the best? What do you listen for in yodeling?
Oh, I would say just the switching of the registers and the staccato-ness of it and the clarity of it. And that's the difference between yodelers, I think, is the clarity that one puts in it and the other doesn't have the skills to do. So that's what you listen for.
I'm here with Doug Miller, the current president of Wurstfest, and of course we're in front of the new Braunfels sign.
That's right.
Okay, this is a big thing to put on.
Yes.
It's huge undertaking, but it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, that it would be a little easier than, say, a festival that's never done anything like this before, because y'all do this every year.
That's correct. We've done it for 44 years. This is our 44th Wurstfest.
Wow, that's a good number.
And we have a very dedicated group of volunteers, about 250 of us that help put the festival on, plus all the other folks from around the community that help make Wurstfest what it is.
Now explain the difference between president and Grossa Opa.
Okay, well, the president is elected from the membership and serves as the chairman of the board, if you will, and the Grossa Opa is an honor that's placed upon one of our members by the president for that year, who serves as our fund master, and his Spaßmeister, and Spaßmacher means he's a fun maker too.
Oh, that's
so
great.
he goes around and just makes sure everyone has a wonderful time.
And what got you involved?
Well, I've been involved with the city as a mayor and on the utility board and different things like that, and so Wurstfest was the premier organization in town, and so I just wanted to be a part of it and welcome all of our visitors into New Braunfels.
Swiss flash, I was taking a bath.
Hey, let's get to know a little more about the incredible Jimmy Sturr. What got you into this kind of music?
Well, where I live is in, actually we grow about 30% of the country's onions. Can you imagine?
No.
We have about 25,000 acres of pure black dirt. I mean, just as black. And of course, the people from Europe came over to work on these farms. Many were the Polish people. They brought their traditions with them. And of course, one was their music. So that's how I got into polka music. Everybody else was rock and roll, and I was doing the polka.
Now you have 14 Grammys.
Yeah.
14!
Yeah, I'm up for my 15th, actually.
Are you really?
With rock and polka.
That is so exciting. So what's it like to win a Grammy? Let alone
it's
14.
exciting. Everybody says, well, do you get as excited, winning your 14th as you did your first? And really, it's almost where you get more excited as I win a little bit more. And now we're lucky. We're right up. I don't know whether anybody has any more Grammys a single year than we do. A lot have, might have won 4 or 5 in 1 year, things like that. But if we get nominated, I think it'll be our 19th consecutive year for being nominated. So I'm pretty neat. I'm excited about that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see how it goes.
Me too.
Explain the whole rock and polka thing.
Well, you know, I record for Rounder Records, and it's the largest independent label in the country. And it's Alison Krauss, George Thorogood, a whole bunch of them. And
Thorogood.
Yeah. And they said to me, you know, we want you to do something a little bit different. We want you to take these 50s and 60s rock songs and do them as polkas. And I said, okay, we'll do, I'm sure, half an album. Oh, no, we want you to do the whole album. And I was really a little skeptical about that. And I thought, well, I don't want to do an whole album. They said, nah, we want you to. So I took songs like Splish Splash, Personality, Bye Bye Love, Charlie Brown, Since I Met You Baby, The Great Pretender, and I did them as polkas. A couple I did as waltzes. Willie Nelson, who I'm good friends with, did several songs on there. Lee Greenwood, Alison Krauss is on it. And one of the best. I mean, one of the songs we did was called Rebel Rouser.
Yeah.
And of course, the legendary Dwayne Eddy wrote that, and of course made it a smash hit. And I asked him, he said, man, I'd love to do it. So he's on there. So
that is so cool.
So that's how I got that idea to do those kind of songs through Roundel.
My achy breaky heart, I just don't think you'd understand her hair up and curly. You should see her when she lets her hair hang down, down, down. Her little toes get cold in the winter, but the rest of her is warm the whole year round.
That's another Sounds Like Texas episode. Thank you so much to Wurstfest and the city of New Braunfels, our incredible musical acts. We've had a great time. I tell you what, with my entire family here, it really truly doesn't get worse than this. Thank you. So we'll see you next week for another episode of Sounds Like Texas.
Are you ready to party? Splish splash, I was taking a bath, long about a Saturday night. A rubber dub, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. When I stepped out of the tub, put my feet on the floor, I wrapped the towel around me and I opened up the door, and then a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath.
Transportation provided by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines, the official airlines for Sounds Like Texas.
Moving and grooving, rocking when I'm rolling.